vigilance, the action or state of keeping careful watch, standing guard, defending the bulwark between the righteous and the godless. Collateral damage. No doubt the most evil aspect of war. Those who make war use that term, collateral damage, to sanitize, to make us forget what it really is. And what it really is the destruction of men, women, children, livelihoods, families. Now, those who make war say that there are acceptable levels of collateral damage. Now, I suppose that it's unavoidable if war is in fact, unavoidable. But in the case of our nation over the last 10 years or so, every war has been completely avoidable. Let's take a look. Libya. Muammar Gaddafi, an evil man, a ruler, a dictator. But it was his country and his people chose their leader. It was their country. If they want something different, if they want more freedom, it is their obligation to go and get it. We have no business in that. So we got involved. We bombed Libya. We assisted in the capture and ultimate death of Gaddafi. And those we assisted, those rebels who took over the place, turned out to be the very terrorists that killed Americans at Benghazi. Afghanistan. Our issue wasn't with Afghanistan. Our issue was with bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. We could have taken them out simply with surgical strikes and aggressive, targeted raids. And in fact, if you look at how we got him in the end, it was with one of those raids and good human intelligence. But instead, we went to Afghanistan to occupy, where we had no business, where we had no right. Iraq. Just like Afghanistan, another knee-jerk reaction to 9/11. We fabricated evidence of weapons of mass destruction, and we rushed in, we occupied, we killed. Again, having no right to be there. You see, each one of these countries were run by evil men. Yes, they were. There's no doubt about that. But the simple fact of the matter is these countries did nothing to threaten America. We had no business being there, but we rushed in. And we thought we could create freedom for those people. So we trained the forces of Iraq and we gave them armaments and everything. And what did they do when ISIS came? They threw down their weapons and ran away, even leaving their Humvees behind. And ISIS simply stepped into the Humvees to chase them down and kill them. Unbelievable. When they want freedom, they will take it. And until then, it's none of our business. Syria. Bashar al-Assad, another dictator, not a great guy. But he was not threatening us in any way, shape, or form. But America decided, Obama decided, that he wanted to overthrow the Assad regime. So we funded the revolution. We trained the revolutionaries. We armed them. And they went in and created this horrible war. And the saddest thing is that those people, those revolutionaries that we trained and armed and funded, for the most part became ISIS. You see, what we have done in every case is we have rushed in to try to change what the people have already established. Well, it's their government. Leave them alone and let them run it. And what we have done in every case is created a vacuum, and ISIS has stepped in. Freedom is not free, but I can help. I offer a set of fundraisers that include advanced firearms training, defensive law seminars, constitution workshops with a focus on the local solution. Now, why the local solution? It's simple. government of, for, and by the people must always be close to the people. Hey, give me a call, 208-317-9843. Let's talk freedom. So now we have the horrible conflict in Syria, and millions of people have been displaced. I have seen the pictures of children, of mothers crying, of fathers desperately trying to find sanctuary for their wives and for their children. And these are heartbreaking, and we must help if we can. But this is a refugee conflict unlike any that we have seen before. You see, Syria is infected. It is infected with the evil disease of radical jihad. The infection is rampant. We don't know who the players are. And so the problem we have now is we see these refugees and we want to help, but if we bring them to our country and it turns out that some of them are ISIS militants disguised as refugees, then we have actually imported enemies who will destroy us from within. Now, I desperately want to help those innocent victims, but I do not want to help one who turns out to be our enemy and causes the death of Americans. And if one American dies, then the price is too high to pay. So what do we do? On one side, we have the Obama administration. They're assuring us that all of these people are being vetted, that there is no danger. And yet, his own security agencies, one after another, have stepped up to say, we can't vet these people because they are coming from a country where everything is in shambles. We can't access their records. And who is in control of their records? Think about it. The Assad regime controls them in some areas. Well, we've already told Assad that we're his enemy and that we're here to destroy him. He's not going to assist us. And on the flip side is ISIS. And ISIS will simply disguise militants as refugees. So the question comes down to the vetting issue. Can it be done? And I don't know the answer to that. There's also another question, and that question is, who has the right to decide? You see, the federal government is asserting that it is their decision and they're going to make it and they're just going to do what they want. Well, the states are saying, well, wait a minute. We are the ones that have to live with these people if they come. We want to know who they are. We want to be reassured that they're safe, that they're going to add to rather than detract from our states. And so in this series, we're going to have multiple guests on. You're going to hear from people from both sides of the argument. And you'll hear their information, and hopefully that will help you decide. And finally, we're going to end this series by turning to the Constitution of the United States, because who does have the power to decide? Is it the states or is it the federal government? We're going to find out by turning to the Constitution and examining the precepts that are found therein. Now, I hope you'll check back with us as we go through these various sessions and that you'll watch each segment as they are published. And until then, I'll see you soon. I'm Lance Earl.